Let's say no one wants to hear what a kid wrote last month.
Well, I like your songs.
Where the winds hit heavy on the borderline.
I'm truly happy because where I come from, we don't know much about Bob Dylan. And I'm truly glad that this movie was made because even that they show only like, I don't know, 20 years, it's like really important times how he become Bob Dylan. And your character is super important because you are kind of the muse for him. And I love the way you look at him and everything. How was that connection with Timothy Chalamet? It was from the script. It was something that was developed in rehearsal or when?
Yeah, well, it's very much written in the amazing script that was written. And also, pulling from real life. I mean, Sylvie it's a fictional name, but she's based on a real person named Suze Rotolo, who was Bob Dylan's first girlfriend. And she's on the Freewheelin' album cover with him. And she wrote an incredible book called A Freewheelin' Time that I read. And it gives so much insight into their relationship and of Bob and her, and especially kind of puts you into that time in the West Village in the 60s and kind of the culture and the youth culture that was going on at that time. So yeah, you have amazing things. You have like this books and materials to draw from and the script, but then also at some point you have to kind of leave that all behind and embody the character on set. And thankfully for me, I had Timothy as a scene partner, and we had one rehearsal, like a couple of rehearsals with him and I, where we went through each scene and, talked as you do in rehearsals. But we were lucky because we both knew each other before. We were friends who know each other for a long time and worked together before. So I think that was really crucial, especially for the Bob and Sylvie relationship in this film. There's a real safeness and comfortability around each other that was just different than any relationship that Bob has in the film. Sylvie's someone, she doesn't sing with him. Their love for each other isn't because of the music. It's because of they really grew up together, and she loves Bob the person, not Bob the icon. So it was really exciting and fun to flesh out that arc, because there's a lot of emotional life, a lot of listening to him, and it's sometimes not through the words.
But she can approve him in many ways because he arrived like a being unknown, literally, and then he don't even want to connect with the audience. But your character helped him to connect with audience.
Yeah. I mean, I think she encouraged him, in a lot of ways. She was an inspiration and encouraged him to sing his own songs, and also got him very, politically involved, because he wasn't aware of kind of the politics of the time at all until he met Sylvie Suze. So she was an inspiration. I mean, also there are countless songs that he has written about her, Boots of Spanish Leather, and If You See Her, Say Hello. I mean, there's so many songs that he's kind of alluded to that are about her. It's a heartbreaking relationship, because at the end it's like he knows that he's going to go on and go into this different chapter of his life. So therefore he has to let her go, because she's the last piece of the puzzle that's holding him back to the young boy from Minnesota who just, wandered, came to New York with these big dreams and a guitar. And so she's just the last piece to let go, which is quite hard, but she has to let him go too.
How about that Joan Baez, folks?
But she's pretty.
How are you?
Hi, I'm doing well. How are you, Ruben?
I'm truly excited because you rock. Like Joan Baez is like it was watching her because I remember my mom. We used to live in the art. She only listened Joan Baez music before, and I grew up very familiar with her. And I wonder, how was that first meeting with Joan Baez when you got the role and you have to learn something about her?
My God. I mean, I had started preliminary research in the audition process. And then by the time I booked the role, I mean, there was a pandemic and a strike. And by the time James cast me in this role, I was a super fan. So I was simultaneously like so excited and also absolutely terrified, because in that time I had like grown. I mean, I had known who she was before, but the respect that I had for her voice and her sound and all of what she was just like absolutely massive. And then of course the job is to like learn more, but also try to get out of the way of that, you know, just immense admiration, because you have to like show up and play a real person, and people tend not to feel that way about themselves. So I mean, I'm with you. She's incredible. And I got to like, I wasn't a singer, I wasn't a guitarist, so I got to just sort of like channel all of that anticipatory energy into training every day, which had its ups and downs and challenges and plateaus. And so at least there was like something I felt like I could do every day to kind of, I mean, it was a pressure cooker, but it sort of eased the pressure to have like little goals and things. But yeah, she's a legend. She's incredible.
But besides of portraying a real person, a live person, you have to create your own style as an actress, because you have, this is a very physical role. You have to sing, you have to play guitar, you have to move around, you have to flirt with Bob Dylan, you know, with Timothy Chalamet. You have to move around. Your character moves around a lot. And the camera chases you everywhere. It's a different mindset that you have to create when you have to portray someone real and be that physical, because you like I say, you sing, you play guitar, you move around, and it's very physical. Probably the character that has more things physical to do in the movie.
Yeah, I mean, for sure, it is a totally different process when you are studying a real person that you have to portray. I mean, there's all kinds of exercises with acting, you know, even when it's not a specific person, sometimes depending on the role, you often have a specific person or a couple people in mind that you emulate in all kinds of characters. But in this case, you also have a absolutely massive fan base who's watching and expecting to see Joan. So you do have to really honor all of the parts of this one person. Yeah, it's you just dive into research. I mean, for what I did was just poring over footage of her and reading her memoirs and trying to get into that mental space and just trying to really capture the more iconic qualities of her, you know, like her finger picking guitar playing is very specific, and the vibrato in her voice and her range. And so it helped to have sort of those touch points of things that I felt I could focus on. And then other pieces of that essence would sort of come through, you know, the greater understanding I was trying to develop about how she thought. So yeah, it's a wide range of things, but I was fortunate to have about a year to work on it.
Monica, thank you so much for your time. Congratulations. Outstanding film.
Thank you. Thank you so much.